Hello, everyone. Sorry for the technical difficulties. StreamYard. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Around the World with Duff. That was very anticlimactic. Happy Halloween. Blah. As you can see, I dressed up because that's all I have going right now is this simple application of makeup and these incredible graphics around me and no crew. Thank you for waiting. Thanks for your patience. I don't even know if anyone's watching right now. Maybe you guys could chime in and say hi or something. But I really appreciate you guys sticking around. And it's always a challenge with StreamYard. I don't know why I do this to myself. It crashes randomly. I've done everything. I've closed everything. I've opened everything. I've got every inoculation I could possibly get. I don't know what to do anymore. StreamYard, please help me if you're watching. Anyway, welcome to Around the World with Duff on this special edition on Halloween week and election America 2020, and Canada's going through a lot of changes as well with some by-elections. So yeah, things are getting really interesting, which is why I came back on to do another show, because there's a lot of things to talk about, and I want to keep it, as light as I can. I'm going to do my normal thing. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, this is Around the World with Duff. Normally I get people, sit people down and talk to them one-on-one in any country around the world, or any province or any state or any city, or it could be in my own city. But what I love about it is I'm gaining a whole new perspective on what's happening globally, politically, and socially in the world. And it's really helped me gain knowledge on, to arm myself and also you with facts, with no spin from the media. I don't hate the media. I dislike when Donald Trump says that, because the media is crucial in order for us. And there are a lot of legit media companies who are getting the facts out to people, getting the news out. We need to, knowledge is power. I always took that upon myself, even in my industry, in the entertainment industry. Knowledge is power. I was told that early in my career. The more you know about a little bit about everything, the better you are. When you approach a role or approach a job, it's always good to know a little bit about everything, right? Makes for great conversation. I was watching Alec Baldwin last night. He does a stream on Instagram, and it just always amazes me how smart that man is. And he's just doing what I'm doing. I'm making notes. He's sitting in his car and just going off the top of his head. Now, I don't know if he's reading, magazines or newspapers, or how he's getting his information, but the man is smart. He knows what he's talking about. And I recommend you tune into him on Instagram. He's got some really good things to say, and he's getting people out to vote and just, activating people, which is awesome. So again, thanks for those of you just joining or whatever this show is happening. I've added another platform today, which is Twitter. So it'll be interesting to see how many people on Twitter tune in. Got about a grand on Twitter and a grand on TikTok. And I think a lot of people do tune in on Facebook Live, which is great. Thanks so much, guys, for your support. So yeah, happy Halloween. What are you guys doing this week for Halloween? My life is Halloween, so I don't really do much other than, once in a while I'll dress up. I've been sort of playing around with makeup and stuff recently, as you may have saw on Instagram and stuff, playing with some drag, because I was inspired by watching 8 million seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. I had never seen it before this year, so it's just kind of cool to see those guys, those kids, they're kids, designing costumes and the application of the makeup and transforming themselves. I mean, some guys don't look anything like their real person when they do the full drag, and I'm really impressed by that, the illusion of it all. It's really cool. So I had a couple of auditions this year, and I just decided to revisit it. I started doing drag when I was younger. Well, I used to dress up in my mom's clothes. Let's be honest. And she used to catch me when I'd stay home. I'd stay home from school sick, and she'd walk in like, "What are you doing? Get out of that dress." So, but I mean, my mom had great clothes. So then I guess I was like, I don't know. I was in Vancouver in the early 90s, and there was this competition happening. Oh, go away, you stupid app that's crashing my computer. There was this competition happening, and they were looking for people to a lookalike competition for Betty Davis. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I did Betty Davis, like post-stroke, older Betty Davis, like, you know, when in those later in her career when she was, you know, could hardly walk, and her face, you know, it was really unfortunate, but she was such a character. And I thought, with this face, it really worked. So you can kind of see it. So I had a lot of fun with that. I won that competition, by the way, which was kind of cool. All the drag queens were like, "Bitch, we've been doing this for 20 years, and you walk in here and just throw on Betty. Screw you." But it was fun. And so then I got hired on Princess Cruises to be a guest entertainer. I did that for about 12 years. And there was this show called Love Boat Legends on Princess. And one of our cruise directors is this woman who was really funny, and she had an early morning talk show. And I said to her, well, if there's ever a legend, it's Betty Davis. And it'd be really funny if the male guest singer fooled everyone and dressed up in drag and appeared at before everyone gets off the ship in the morning on this talk show that is broadcast to each one of their rooms. And it actually became a regular thing. I'd appear in Love Boat Legends in the show. I'd come on, and she'd be like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest. You may have thought she disappeared for good, but she's back." And she'd bring me up on stage. Hilarious. So then I started to, you know, riff on Betty, and anyway, it was just a lot of fun. And so that's Halloween for me, is like every day, as it is probably for a lot of actors. A lot of us do auditions, and we're constantly dressing up to go into audition for something. Anyway, thanks for those new people joining. I appreciate it. It's really great. It's Thursday, October 20. I don't have my glasses on. I have to wear my glasses. Sorry. Now I look, I don't know, who do I look like? I look like a vampire secretary now. So it's Thursday, October 29th. It's almost Halloween. What are you guys doing with your kids? There's a lot of restrictions happening. Are you taking your kids out? A lot of parents are actually keeping their kids in. And there was actually really great advice from somebody I heard on a talk show. I had to take this off too. It's bugging the shit out of me. That you should set up rooms in your house. Like each door should be like a new person's home you go to with your kids. And you should take your kids around your house. Hopefully it's a large house. If it's not, if it's an apartment, just dress up each door. Maybe have one of your other kids or one of you guys dress up as somebody behind the door, answering the door, scaring the kids, give them candy. I don't know. Just be creative, but be safe. That's what I'm really stressing on, is that we need to, we gotta lock down. We gotta take care of ourselves. You know, I posted something the other day about, or yesterday actually, about that my friend Tim had posted about, we're back to the numbers where we were earlier. And no matter what the government says, everybody's out to keep their businesses alive, which is totally legit. Yes, we need to keep our businesses alive. I mean, in my neighborhood, there's restaurants and everything's closing. It's really fucking sad. It's horrible. But it's understandable that the government is saying, hey, we got to keep things open or everything's going to crash. It's going to be worse than, the 2019, what was that? No, or 2009, that recession we went through, whatever year that was. So yeah, be safe with your kids, take them out, but it's just getting out of hand. And as you can see, I tuned into the BBC the other night and I got a real eye opener. We don't hear about other countries. Sometimes we just hear like snippets, but the BBC covers a lot of the countries and in Europe. And I didn't realize that. I mean, everyone's locking down, maybe with the exception of small places like Taiwan, which is an island, and Australia. My friend lives in Sydney. Things are semi-open there still, but there was also an outbreak in another part of Australia. So we're not safe. Nobody's safe yet. It's Halloween. Nobody's safe. Don't go out. Be safe. So yeah, take care of yourselves and, stay in. Lots of things we can go back to. Being creative is the best thing we can do. So I really encourage that. Just as an aside, I want to dedicate this episode number 23, I think it is, to a friend of mine who I lost this week, who was a really good friend of mine. And we recently, because of social media and the internet, we established connection after many, many years. And he was having some troubles with his kidneys, I think it was. And he was on his second or third operation, having some difficulties with kidney stones. And so I was sending him messages back and forth of like, I hope you get through, a happy healing. I hope it happens. This young guy, he's just a little bit older than me. That's young, right? Right. So my friend Kirby Howard, and this is Kirby. This is him a few years ago. Kirby was an incredible singer. I don't know how he passed away yet. I still don't know the cause of death, but the man was just a life force and a really good friend of mine. Good buddy, incredibly talented. He hosted these karaoke's. He lived in Victoria, BC. And his voice, if you want to go on YouTube, this is him and I. First time we did a show together called Blast from the Past in 1987. Oh my God. Yeah. And we had a riot. It was a rock and roll review show, 50s rock and roll. We had so much fun and we were bad, but we were young. And yeah, he then went on to sing with the Platters, which was a sort of a reimagined Platters group that happened in Vancouver, headed by a man named Ray Carroll, who produced that musical actually with my friend Bev Delich. And Ray was one of the replacements for the Platters as some of them passed away or, left the Platters. Kirby came in and filled in. And his voice, if you want to go on YouTube and search Kirby Howard, it's just amazing talent. And it is really sad. So I just want to dedicate this episode to my good buddy, Kirby Howard. You will be sorely missed. I love you, buddy. And whatever happened, I hope you didn't, I hope you weren't in a lot of pain when you went out. So this is for Kirby today. Anyway, if you want to send prayers out to Kirby, I'd appreciate it. So what I was saying is that this show, as you guys know, is all about me checking in with everyone around the globe and having chats. I've invited some people to come online. If you want to join me today on screen, I've invited a few people. a guy named Lee from Brockville, which is kind of interesting because my other friend who lives in Nashville, Don Ackerman, might come on. And Don and I have a history with Brockville. So it'll be really interesting to talk to Lee about Brockville, because Don and I have a TV project that we're trying to pitch and sell. And so it'll be kind of cool to get those two on screen, hopefully together, and we'll chat about Brockville, also known as Elizabethtown. This is our poster for our TV show. So it's set in 1867, and yeah, it's very timely. Elizabethtown was the original name of Brockville before it became Brockville, after, I think, General Brock. And we think it's a completely timely show, because in 1867, a lot of things were going on that are similar to now. A lot of illegal immigration, a lot of similarities to what's happening in our world right now. Hey, Don. So we're really trying to get this show out there and get it happening. And so we'll see what happens with that. We're fingers crossed for us. We've got a couple more pitches with it. Netflix has it right now. So Netflix, if you're out there, we're ready. And it has a little ghostly element to it too. So yeah. So let me just do, before I bring on Don, who is in Nashville, Tennessee, let me just do a quick COVID update. I'm not going to dwell on this because you guys all are being inundated with the news and with the stats. And I'm not going to take a sort of Donald Trump stand on it. COVID. We're so tired of it. No, we're not tired of it. We want to get rid of it, but it just has to be addressed. It's not, to say that we're tired of it is completely rude and wrong to all those people who have lost their lives and who are still fighting for their lives and who are fighting on the front line. So I think that's the most horrible thing that any president can say. So this is what's happening. Yeah. So globally, we got 44 million cases, my friends, 44.5. That's insane. That's insane, because doing this show over the past while, I've seen the numbers. Like I've checked in with you guys over time, right? And what I've always said, what worries me is the amount of deaths. So the US has 8 million cases, but 227,703 deaths. So that is a lot of deaths, and that number is going up exponentially, which is a worry. What's also a worry is that India is now right on the heels of the US at 8 million as well. And Brazil is still third. Russia is fourth. I'm amazed that, these, actually at Russia especially, because it's such a dictatorship, I would think that they'd lock everybody in and lock it down. And, their government sort of allows them to do that. But hey, there's a lot of people that live in Russia's a huge country like Canada. A lot of people live in the country and that can't, won't be locked down. So I also like to check in with my favorite country, Lesotho. Lesotho, again, unfortunately, has some large cases happening. It started with 0, which is why it piqued my interest to begin with. It had 0 cases for quite a while, for months actually. And then I checked in with somebody who was actually there and who had traveled there and said it was at a very high altitude. And then I looked online today and I saw that Lesotho actually it's a small country. It's surrounded. Let me just show you. This is Lesotho. But it has 2 ICU beds. 2. So the man who's in charge of health and the health system there said that as those cases rise, the deaths will also rise, because the hospitals can only handle so many of the cases. So if they get 2 people in the hospital and 6, are left out of the hospital, a lot of those people will die, which is horrible. And they also are not testing at the rate that they should be in order to find it's anyway. I think a lot of these cases are higher than normal. So I would like to right now. I'd love to. Let me just see which. No. I would love to bring on my friend Donald to just sort of check in with him in Nashville and see how he's doing down there. Him and I have been watching a lot of interesting programs. I want to discuss some of our COVID screening choices. So, Donald, are you there? Hey,
what up?
What up?
I guess I have to look at my camera, otherwise I look really stupid.
Yeah, no, you don't.
You up there?
Yeah, you look pretty dumb.
I'm looking at you up there. What the heck's on your face?
Do you like my application?
Hold on a second.
Are you scared? Are you erasing?
I'm scared. I need to block you out.
You can't get rid of my window. Sorry. Wait, this might help. Is that better?
Oh, hot. Happy Halloween.
Hey, you too. I love your costume.
You really worked really hard at it.
Yeah, you outdid yourself. It's just stunning. Didn't you play a similar character on in a movie once? Were you like a skinhead or a spaghetti eating skinhead? Hey, you're in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
What is this? What was that? Sling Blade? It's Sling Blade. It was that time you dressed up as the guy from Sling Blade. That's right.
Sling Blade? What are you talking about?
Didn't you see Sling Blade? The movie? Google it. You'll see.
Okay.
It was what's his face who married who is on Fargo now? What's his name?
The TV series Fargo?
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor was on it one year.
No,
I don't know who's on the new. I haven't watched the new season yet.
The older guy. Anyway, maybe somebody will tell us. So hi. You were in New York, right?
Yeah, a long time. It feels like a long time ago.
And now you've relocated to Music City,
Nashville, Tennessee.
How's the weather down there?
Today it's sunny. It's been raining a lot in the last week, but now it's sunny. But it's supposed to rain, I think, later today. I think it's supposed to be sunny, nice tomorrow. So
good.
Let's hope.
But no snow, no Hurricane Zeta winds, no.
That's why we're getting the rain. It's from that hurricane, I think.
Yeah,
but that's not really in our direction. It's veering off, and we're over here. It's going there.
It's really unfortunate, right? That during all this time, like those people are getting hit with a huge storm. It's just, it's really sad.
It's like putting fire on fire. It's kind of like, it's. What more do we need in 2020?
More fuel, yeah, I know. And those people, like in the South, like my friend Sharon lives in that area. She's been hit. How many hurricanes have they had? 3 or 4? Like, she's been hit so many times that they can't even rebuild their house before they're hit again. Like, it's.
I really don't understand why people want to live in that area of the world, because hurricanes and all that have been happening for years. It's not like it's a new thing. Of course, there's more of them because of global warming, but I don't know why. But
then why do people live in the earthquakes of California or the now wildfires of California? I know. Or why do we live in Canada in freezing minus 40 degree weather?
But you can manage that at least.
Yeah.
It's not a natural disaster. You're not living in a natural disaster, Duff. Although you do look like a disaster, you're not living in a natural disaster.
This is a disaster. Hey, do you like my new background?
Yeah, it's pretty snazzy.
I'm starting fresh, which is why I'm starting fresh also with wearing a lot of makeup, because it's the only way I could feel fresh.
You got some ketchup here.
Oh shit! Right, I had a hot dog earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Just.
So, hey, so you're locked in pretty much, right? You're all COVID locked.
I don't really. The only time I leave the house is to walk the dogs and go grocery shopping.
That's pretty much locked in. And what are you watching these days? What have you been watching? You and I have been talking a lot about our different things that we've been watching.
What did I watch recently? I watched Ratchet, which is very good. I really liked. Last night I watched a couple of movies, some old Halloween movies. I decided to watch some Halloween movies. I watched Hocus Pocus, and I watched The Witches with Angelica Houston.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you about Hocus Pocus. So that's weird because it's had like a resurgence lately, right? Like a rehash. Why is that, I wonder?
I wonder if they're making a new, maybe a sequel, or maybe they're making a remake of it, because it's pretty funny watching it. It's pretty cheeseball. It's pretty it's practical. Like I'm amazed that movie actually did as well as it did.
Yeah,
it's good. But watching it now, it's kind of dumb. But
yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, I saw an interview with Bette Midler yesterday, and she said that at the time it tanked. The movie tanked, but it's got like a cult following now. I guess those women kind of look like drag queens. Maybe that's why. Like it makes a good.
Jessica Parker, like it's so funny watching her in it because she's not really in it. Like I think she has two emotions throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, she sort of flits around and her tits are flying all over the place. It's like, is that?
She laughs a lot. She just sort of laughs a lot and dances a lot. That's all she really does, And I like her. Obviously from Sex and the City, she's got more depth than just flouncing about. But yeah, it's interesting.
Hey, do you remember the time we were in LA? We were having brunch out somewhere. I can't remember, at a diner, and we ran into Kathy and Jimmy. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
she was with
somebody we knew.
That the girl that you did Connie and Carla with.
Nia Vardalos.
Nia Vardalos, yeah.
Yeah,
and I was like, God. Oh yeah, so they're, I guess, good friends, right?
Yeah, I think. Isn't she Canadian?
Nia? Yeah.
No, the other one.
Kathy. I don't know. I
might be wrong. But maybe they know each other from Chicago or something, I bet, because they both lived in Chicago for a long time.
Oh, did they? Oh, I didn't know that.
They did Second City, I think, in Chicago together.
Oh, I didn't even know so that was kind of cool that we ran into her, and then you, of course, Nia was saying, "Oh my God, Dawn," because you were in Connie and Carla and you played that hilarious ultra gay character. And I was like, "You should hire Dawn again. You should write him another part."
We ran into them at the Grove. That's where we saw them.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's kind of cool that movie has had a resurgence, and those actors are sort of having like a little afterlife of it. And I saw that Bette Midler, they're doing a Hocus Pocus special on NYPR. I think that's a New York restoration project.
Yeah, I saw something on Facebook about it. I think you tagged me on it. Yeah. It's a whole plethora of actors are getting. I don't know if it's a reading or if it's a.
I don't know either. I know there's all these amazing people like Meryl Streep and like incredible people who are involved. So
yeah.
I think they're just raising money because I think they did a Fast Times at Ridgemont High reading, and they're doing these things to raise cash and get awareness out there, and it's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
So it's called I had the thing up. Hold on, let me just find the thingamajiggy. The Kathy and Jimmy. I don't have it. Anyway, it's called Hoku Poku or something like that. Just go to nyrp.com or .org, and there's a poster there, and you guys can view it. Oh, are we frozen?
No? Oh, am I?
I guess I'm frozen. Maybe it's because I don't have my glasses on.
It's nyrp.org.
Okay. And that's, can you hear me, Don?
Yep.
Okay. That's Bette Midler's restoration project that she goes around New York.
You just cut out now. Well, I guess I get to take over the show. I'm going to take over the show since I can't hear you.
So that
you're cutting out, cutting in, cutting out, cutting in, cutting out, cutting in.
That's are you there?
I'm here, but you
keep
cutting out and cutting in.
Why don't you tell me more of what you've been watching?
I finally, I'm late to the project, but I started watching Fosse Verdon, which was phenomenal. I didn't realize that he was such a force, although he did smoke a lot and drank a lot, but he was a very interesting character, and I didn't really know much about her, to be honest. But she is incredibly talented, and Michelle Williams, of course, was phenomenal. I think she won the Emmy for that. And what else am I watching? I also watched. I'm going to start watching Fargo, the new season of Fargo, because it's out now, and that is one of my favorite shows of all time. And that's about it at the moment. I'm trying to think of what else I've been watching. I'm writing again, so I'm working on a project that has been troublesome, but it's been good at the same time. Writer's block, but I'll get through it eventually. I think I lost Duff, and I think this might be the Don Ackerman show. Just Don. Anyways, I think that's about it. I lost him. He's gone. I might even just be talking to myself at this point. I don't know if I'm even on here live. But if anybody else is on here, please send through a chat so that I can see it and see if this is actually working. I'm going to check with Duff to see if he crashed. Maybe you guys want to watch me eat. How about that? I'm going to have my lunch. This is exciting. Riveting television. So, anyways, if anybody is out there, and we could chat if you have any questions about Tennessee, Nashville, New York, acting, anything. I don't think there's anybody on here though, although I can't tell. But Duff is rebooting. I guess he's got an issue with his stuff. There is not much to say. But I think I'm going to sign off here. And then hopefully Duff will re-enter. And we will see. But yeah, check out the Hocus Pocus thing. There's Adam Lambert is in there, Meryl Streep. Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, Bette Midler, a whole bunch of people are on it. It's let me read them out. Thora Birch, Jamie Lee Curtis, Jennifer Hudson, Michael Kors, Martin Short, John Stamos, Sarah Silverman, Meryl Streep, and a number of others. Billy Crystal. Must be, it's a fundraiser for something. But anyways, I think that's it for me for today. Gonna go have a workout, and that is all. Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody. Why does StreamYard hate me so much? I don't know what's going on. This is the second crash for today. Sorry, Don. I left you hanging and then made you talk about nothing. Oh, and now it's changing my background randomly. What is going on? I swear, I think sometimes uttering the words about the virus, that phrase, jinxes everything. I don't know why, but every time I do that, and now I've got a ball of death again. If I lose you folks, that's why, because I uttered that thing again. Let's just wait till the ball of death goes away. Anyway, I don't know if anyone can hear me now or not. What's happening? I also wanted to say, if anyone has it in them to donate a few dollars to this cause, I'm out of work. I'm on curb, but every bit of cash helps, and we're all struggling right now, and hopefully I can, send some of that cash. This site actually costs money every week, every month, so it would help me pay for that. And also I would love to eventually throw some cash towards guests as an incentive to come on. So yeah, so I'm afraid to have anyone come on screen with me. But yeah, anyway, so let's get back to what we were talking about. Again, I apologize to Don. Sorry. He's probably eating and probably just completely content with having just that. So that's cool. I can continue on my own. So we already did that. So also there were some other movies, like Don was mentioning, The Witches on HBO, which I was a lot of fun to watch as well. I didn't make it through the whole thing, but graphics are really good. I think it's a reimagined old movie that they've redone, or book, because my grade 4 teacher, Manny LaFay, messaged me and said that he enjoyed reading that book to his grade 4 students. So I didn't know that, but super interesting book. And movie as well. So I mentioned Hocus Pocus. The new Borat movie came out, which I thought was, what's the word? Daring. There's a lot in there that's commenting on the current state of the world, all done tongue-in-cheek and quite brilliantly by Sacha Baron Cohen. The situations, spoiler alert, I won't give too much away, but the situations that he puts a lot of people in to reveal their true character and the truth is it's shocking. It's unbelievable, actually. And you're watching it as usual with Borat. You kind of cringe and go, how do they not know who he is right now? Because he's such a well-known character. But as I was saying to Don, there are a lot of people who live in the middle of nowhere, like in Saskatchewan or in the middle America, in the mountains or wherever, don't have TV, don't have media, don't go to movies. Not everyone is up on, pop culture like we are. So there are a lot of people who don't know who he is. And there were some people in the movie. Some of it was set up, but the one man in the print shop had no clue who he was. So it's kind of fun and delicious to watch Borat and these two guys as well that he lived with for, I think, 5 weeks or something. Insane. I heard him in an interview the other day talk about how he was in his room. He was staying with these two sort of rednecks, getting to know them and going to rallies with them and stuff like that. And as Borat, never breaking character. And he went to bed one night and he was watching. He was doing some work for prep for the next day of shooting. And all of a sudden he heard on the door, and he was like, oh shit. And he had all of his like Sasha stuff out, like his computer and like all his devices and scripts, and like I don't think he was in character, and apparently had like a little vault in his room that he would hide all of that in during the day so they wouldn't know. And he basically threw everything together and like went to the door, and the guy's like, hey buddy, just checking to see if you're okay, man. And the guy's like, yeah, oh yeah, everything's great, okay, good night. And he slammed the door, and it's like, Jesus, terrifying, like, terrifying. If those guys found out that he was out to get him, out to make them look stupid, or whatever, or lying, even just that. I mean, this is the middle of nowhere. These guys have guns. They, who knows what the hell could happen. Anyway, I'm glad he survived. I think he's getting some blowout from Trump and some lawsuits happening. But the young girl in the movie is really incredible. She's from Bulgaria, I guess, and went through a rigorous process of auditioning and improv. And so I recommend watching it. I think it's on Amazon, or no, is it on? Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime, I think, because they paid Sasha $80 million. That's what I heard, to produce the movie and to do it. And I mean, the guy worked his ass off. It's that's grueling. It's bad enough that an actor has to like learn lines and has a large role. He's improvising and staying in character with real people. That deserves at least 70 mil. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, you guys, for joining. I had some technical difficulties, and I appreciate you sticking with it and sticking with us. It's kind of a gloomy day here in Toronto today, so it's a good day to do this. And happy Halloween for those of you just joining. We're talking all things media, all things politics, all world issues, whatever you want. And if you want to join me on screen, you're welcome to. That's the wrong one. That was before. There's the code. So you just go to StreamYard.com and then enter that AGTW7T7NX2, and you can join me on screen, and we'll have a chat, check in with you, see how your day's going, how your gay's going, and just have a little chat. This is a nice way to sort of check in with everybody. And I can have multiple guests on here. I think you can have it up to 10 people. So whatever. Ow, shit, my wrist. There's also another, other than Borat, there's also another great documentary that I watched called Totally Under Control. It's also on Amazon Prime. It's about, basically Trump and COVID, and Trump saying it's fine, everything's totally under control from the get-go, from way back. And it actually tells the full story from ex-White House officials, how he was informed, what was happening in China, what they did to put in place when the virus was actually recognized, what he didn't do, what everybody didn't do, and the roller coaster ride that it's been. It's really eye-opening, and a lot of it is factual from real people on the ground, people who were in the White House, who of course got fired because they were exposing the truth. So, everyone has their own opinions. You could take it for what it's worth, but it's really worth the watch. I really recommend it. It's called Totally Under Control, and it's on Amazon Prime. So there's also some really interesting. There's also a really great, has nothing to do with COVID. I just wanted to, being that this show is about being around the world and talking to different people and different issues globally. There's a really great series, a docu-series. I think it was produced out of England, and it was on Channel 4, maybe in England, and also on Discovery UK. It's called, and it's on YouTube. That's where I discovered it. So there's this guy named Levison Wood, who is, I think, an American or Canadian, I can't remember, who does things like he'll walk across the Sahara, or he'll travel down the Nile, and just experience people one-on-one, kind of like this show, but in person, pre-COVID. And so he did this really interesting one, which I was intrigued by, which was Russia to Iran. Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'd like to see you walk through the mountains of Iran. It's really, really also interesting, an interesting watch. Again, like Borat, but this is a real, well, it was a real thing with the movie as well. This guy putting himself out there in harm's way, crossing borders that are sort of, if you were to be exposed as an American, I think he actually is Canadian. I have to double check, but he'd put himself, like, in some spots, the mayor or the sort of the government official would show up and greet him and say, "What's your business here? What are you doing here?" And he would say, "Oh, I'm just walking over to Iran." And they would take him to the next checkpoint and say, "Bye, get out of our country. Bye. No business here. Go away." So those moments where he thought that he was being, taken into a room and scary. And I always admire guys like that who are sort of putting themselves out there, and for the sake of us sitting and watching it, for COVID entertainment. That's what this segment's called, by the way, COVID entertainment. So these are just some recommendations for you guys if you're out there and you need stuff to watch. A friend of mine, a friend of a friend is in, and then some other people that I know produced it. It's a CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, which is Canada's one of Canada's long-lasting networks. They are free streaming on CBC Gem, GEM, some really great shows. And one is Trickster, which is set in an First Nations Aboriginal community up north. And check it out. It's interesting. Another show called Departure, which is, I think, a co-pro with BBC, is also really interesting. It's about a flight that disappeared over the Atlantic, and they're not sure if it was hijacked or what. And there's a lot of interesting plot twists, really good writing, beautifully shot. And some great Canadian actors on it, and English actors as well. So that's called Departure, and I think that's on Global in Canada. And then another shocking documentary, and this case has been around for ages. I didn't know. It's called American Murder, and I can't remember the name of the guy. Watts, I think is his last name. Watts. It basically is about his wife being murdered, and how, maybe you guys already know the end result of what happened, but I won't spoil it for you. But just so you know, it's a really good watch as well. And you would never think what happened. And it could happen to anybody, anywhere, because it's happened in Canada, and it's happened in. So it's basically about the murder of his wife and 2 kids. And so I'll just leave it up to you guys to watch that. It's called American Murder, and it's on Netflix. Check it out. And then Chelsea Handler just released a new stand-up special called Evolution on HBO Max, I think. And I like Chelsea Handler because she's no bullshit person, but she also has released some really interesting docu-series and series and short films about white privilege, because she's the epitome of that. She did. There's a bunch of them actually on Netflix, and I really recommend you watching her. It's basically her enlightening herself, going to South America and doing ayahuasca, and then realizing that that she wasn't that affected by ayahuasca. But there's a lot of that kind of those travel doc series, which I love, as you can see, and she has a whole series of them, so I recommend that. And then this new one called Evolution, which she's just basically talking about what's happening right now, and where she fits into all of it. Yeah, so those are the things that are going on some recommendations. Also, there's some live streams happening right now in Canada that I really recommend you take in as well. I know I didn't want this to be all gloom and doom. It's more an informative show today, so I hope you guys don't mind. But there are some great streams happening. One is, I think, the Stratford Festival of Canada has sort of like an ongoing series happening, and you can search for that on online. A lot of the actors have put together some shorts and some comedy bits, and I think it's like a soap kind of thing. I haven't watched it yet, but I just wanted to recommend it to you guys and support my fellow actors out there who are all out of work in the festivals. So that's the Stratford Festival of Canada. If you search online, you can find the series, the online live stream series that's happening. Also, the Arts Club out in Vancouver they are doing a great thing, and a few other theaters in Canada are doing the same thing, where they're streaming and charging for their shows. I think there's a 3-show package that's happening, and so you can watch the shows. I don't think there's an audience, but I can't be sure. But you can watch them online and live stream them, and you can buy a 3-show package. And I think it's like you're given a time limit of when you can watch them, and then it runs out. It's kind of like when Phoebe Waller-Bridge did Fleabag, and she put her one-woman show online for people to watch, limited time. You paid, I think I paid $20 or $10 or something to watch it. And I've had a few friends do that. Really good idea. And that's kind of what I'm trying to transition into that with this, with the virtual tip jar. If you guys want to go to go to PayPal, and if you want to throw me a couple bucks or whatever, help me pay for this platform. I'm looking to do more stuff with this platform, bring you more entertainment, more lighter entertainment, not so COVID heavy, give you the facts, but also, do a play reading or stage something or have variety acts on. So, and speaking of that, the last couple that I want to mention was Drayton Entertainment, Drayton. Drayton Entertainment is streaming, and it's for their private guests. It's free, but it's super incredible. And let me just find the link, but really amazing production values. And it's a variety show. Alex Moustakis runs the Drayton Theatre Festival. Again, they had, 15 shows. He's, I think, got 7 or 8 theaters in Ontario. And all of those actors and all of those shows got canceled. So if you can imagine the fallout from that. So I really admire Alex for pulling up his socks and bringing people, especially as his audience, some entertainment. And I'm telling you guys, the production value on the show is broadcast quality. It's unbelievable. It's so good. And he's starting, it's a series every week or every 2 weeks. And it's called We'll Meet Again. And let me just find the So if you go on Vimeo and go to Drayton Entertainment's page on Vimeo, And then the password is Showtime01, all small casings 01. Showtime01, and you can watch. They're trying to increase the viewership of that. And it's excellent entertainment if you want just a light variety show, some good comedy, and the production value. And the singers, the first show is all male singers. Sorry, I'm getting dry. This is hard talking to yourself for hours. It's all these incredible leading men, and I think the next series is leading women, leading ladies. So it's worthwhile checking out every week to see who's on. So that's We'll Meet Again on Vimeo, Vimeo, and it's the password is Showtime01. Now I think tomorrow is the last day you can watch that episode, and then it's stopping. So get on there and watch it as soon as you can. Really great to watch. Anyway, that's great. You know, keeping actors busy, keeping the theaters busy, keeping us all engaged, because mentally and mental health wise, a lot of us are having trouble. I'm having trouble as well. Thank God I got a job this last week on a national commercial. I can't tell you too much more about it other than it's for American Express, and it'll be national, and it'll be online as well. I have no idea how much I'm in the commercial, but it's a lot of fun. So look out for that. I think November 8th, I think Amex is launching their new platform, whatever it is. I can't say anything about it, but that's what's happening. So thank you to the casting people and to my agent for that job. I haven't been paid yet, so which is why I have a virtual tip jar here to help pay for this platform. If you get a chance, you guys throw me a couple bucks, and then I can hopefully put that money towards more production value on this. Maybe host a reading. I can then pay actors. If I can get things happening that way, because I have a few projects and a few readings, and Dawn and I, my business partner and writing partner, we have a few things we'd like to bring to you guys virtually. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. What else did I want to talk about? So yeah, there's also now going back to COVID, there's also a doctor who I started following on YouTube, and I love his videos. He breaks down the whole thing, whether it's being intubated, whether it's like the virus, how the virus works, where it came from. I just think he's really brilliant, and it's really informed me as well and armed me with facts. His name is Dr. Mike Hansen, Hansen. Hansen. And I really recommend you take in Dr. Mike Hansen and watch some of his videos, namely, the ones about, what is COVID and what happens when I get COVID and what it does to the lungs. He explains all of that, how the virus gets in, how it attaches to your RNA and your DNA, how it moves through your body, through your organs. We don't know that shit. It's nice for us to know, right? We got to know what's happening to us so we can and then he also gives us some great advice on vitamin D, which is super important, was also important during the 1918 pandemic with TB. People were put outside in sanatoriums, yeah, to get vitamin D from the sun. So, they would wheel the patients outside, and a lot of people actually recovered from the vitamin D. So a lot of people are vitamin D deficient, which is also why they get sick. Some people get sick with COVID and others don't. And that has been widely studied. And so you can look into that. Not much else. What time is it? It's 1:19. We had some interesting stuff. I just wanted to say there's 400,000 people without power in the southern U.S. That's happening right now with Hurricane Zeta. I just wanted to send my prayers to some of my friends who are down there going through that crazy nightmare that's Hurricane Zeta. I hope everyone stays safe and you don't lose too much. I know it's been a hard hit every, week. Khloe Kardashian tested positive with COVID. I shouldn't be laughing, but I don't know why when that was like bookended with something else on the news, I was like, what? It's totally valid. I'm sorry, Khloe. That's the thing. It's like once you've got it, there are some scary things that can happen that can damage your organs, and people are getting, rehashings of it, and it comes back. So as much as I wanted to put that in for a comedy effect, I really do wish the woman good health, and I hope that she recovers from it. That's really sad. And there was also a huge knife attack in Nice, France today, a terrorist attack, and a woman was beheaded, and it happened at a church. And I'm sure you can find out more about it online, but that happened in Nice, France, which I've been to Nice. I can't imagine. It's such an incredibly beautiful place. I can't imagine something as horrific like that happening, but that's what happens. It doesn't matter where or when. It happened in Nova Scotia here too, as well. A crazy guy dressed up as a cop shooting 20 some people randomly out of nowhere in one of the most beautiful places in Canada. So it's not really about the environment, I guess. It's just about there are just some people who are disturbed and who are hateful, filled with hate. And I saw somebody talking about that, about the propagation of hate, and how that has been that's been sort of Donald Trump's sort of mantra, to spread hate. And this person was talking about how, say you immigrated to the US and it was a great place to be. And then Donald Trump, and you're happy to be there with your family. And then Donald Trump, instigates a Muslim ban, and you become radicalized and angry over that, and end up, as a part of ISIS because you're so angry. And that beautiful person has turned around and has been turned on to hate. And that all is that's what's happening in the States. And that's what's happening globally, is people are being prodded and poked, like, siding with each other and pinning people against each other. Like, Mexicans are rapists and Muslims should be banned and kicked out. And I personally have met somebody. I went on a date with somebody. I look stupid talking about this with all this on my face, but I went on a date with somebody who had a beard, and then one week he shaved it off. This was like during that whole time, right? And I said to him, "Why did you shave your beard off?" He was from Turkey, by the way, and he's Muslim. And I said, "Why did you shave your beard off?" And he said, "Because I'm scared that someone will target me on the subway." He works downtown. And I said, "Well, but there's no way, you don't have an accent." And he said, "Yes, I do. I have an accent. I work very hard to not have any accent at all." And I found that the most sad thing I had ever heard. The fact that this young guy is like 28, terrified to be targeted. And the same thing with Asian people. Or I have a friend who, as COVID started up, who was afraid to go on the subway as well, or walk home at night after a shift we were on, because of the sort of like China virus, the Asian sort of hatred towards people. And we have a lot of Asian people in Canada. And she found herself in situations where people were like, go back to your own country, and yelling at her and telling her to f off. And that's got to stop. I pray that by the end of this week, when this election is over, because it is truly spilling over into our country, we may think that American politics, U.S. politics, we are in America, North America, U.S. politics spills over into our country. We see it. Guns spill over, drugs spill over, immigrants spill over. It's happening, and we need to support our U.S. friends and change the landscape, because it really is affecting all of us. You see what's happening. I mean, I was also reading today that there's a lot of Americans that are getting over into Canada through the border. A lot of executives are exempt. I read that there was 138 business mobility exemptions. The UPS executive, a big top UPS executive, came into Canada and was doing business here. Didn't quarantine, didn't do 14-day quarantine. A lot of that happening. There's a lot of no quarantine happening in the States and in Canada, and nobody tracking them, especially the States. I think they're testing, yes, but I don't think they're contact tracing. My have friends going to Mexico and coming back, and they're not going into quarantine. So I pray that Joe Biden and Kamala will get in, and we can start to change things. There's a lot of work that has to be done. There's not to mention the Black Lives Matter and the racism and against the China virus and Asian people as well. That's not being mentioned that much, and that actually is a huge issue. There were a lot of wet markets all over the world, and COVID existed in a lot of them. So to say that it came from China or Europe or wherever, it's been here. COVID, this is COVID-19. COVID itself is the heart of the virus, has been around for quite a while, like MERS. I think these are all COVID viruses, SARS. So yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to say to you guys that I hope that the landscape changes. I really pray that a lot of goodness comes over the next few months and weeks. We all want to go back to theater and work and our work, and I hope that the vaccine happens as well. We really need that to happen. But like my friend Tim said, we need to do the work. You can say the government's going to do this and do that and do that. We, the people, need to protect ourselves. That's the bottom line. If you feel you need to stay in and lock down, do it. If you feel at risk, I feel scared on the street, and not because I'm a hypochondriac. It's because there are so many people walking now out on the street, and it's hard to imagine, as a jogger goes by with no mask on, that aerosol is not sticking in the air. They say if you smell someone's perfume lingering in the air, when you smell somebody's perfume or a cigarette as you walk by, that's aerosol. So that's what's lingering in the air, is the coronavirus. That's how long it stays in the air. So you go into someone's bathroom and someone's just been in there before you, and they've either sprayed themselves with the cologne or perfume, and you walk in, you walk into that aerosol. That's those droplets hanging in the air. So just remember that. That's one thing that I remember, and that's one thing that prompts me to wear a mask and keep my distance and wash my hands and blah, blah, blah. It's just so many things we have to do. And we have to do it. The government's going to tell us certain things because they want, and I hate saying that, the government, it sounds like there's some sort of conspiracy going on, but everyone's just trying to take care of themselves. Restaurants are trying to stay afloat. Businesses are just trying to keep everything going. We have to in some way, but we can do it safely, and we can protect each other and protect our kids and protect our parents and protect our livelihoods. So yeah, anyway, this was a long chat today. But I appreciate you guys. I have no idea who's tuning in. No one's chimed in on the chat. I'm not sure why my chat isn't working, but if you guys have any questions or anything, you're welcome to post them now. I think that's all I had to say, other than if you need some assistance with mental health, go to ementalhealth.ca. It's a great resource for us, and there's it's a portal basically for a lot of self-help areas and people you can talk to if you're having a hard time and you need someone to talk to, or a service, or anything like that. Go to ementalhealth.ca. I hope everyone has a safe. We didn't have very many guests today, but I hope everyone has a safe Halloween. Again, this episode was dedicated to Kirby. Maybe he was like going over me, playing with my technology today. That's why things were, the electromagnetic field was being interrupted by Kirby. He was screwing with me. I love that guy. And I pray to him and his family that everyone is, my condolences to them. And stay safe. Have a great Halloween. Have some fun, whatever it is. Get that vitamin D. Get outside. Get some oxygen. Keep yourself motivated. Be positive. Stay connected with people, even if it means just chatting here and there. And put down your devices sometimes and get some fresh air. Have a great Thursday, everyone. Have a great Halloween weekend, and we might do another episode for election night. So stay tuned. Subscribe to me on YouTube at Duff McDonald, and that way you'll get notifications when this is happening. Hello to everyone on YouTube, on Facebook as well, and Twitter. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. Have a wonderful Thursday, and happy Halloween. See you later.